Oh, shout out to the people going out to work this morning. I just said when I reach a certain part of the intro is when the names start coming into the chat room. Right when I get to shout out to the drivers, shout out to the Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver. Still no sound. It was no sound before, but I think it has sound now. You know, when your kids get into your stuff, come in the office and play around with your microphone and stuff like that, they switch the mic off. Now the mic is green light, ready to go. Red light would be, I didn't see it because it's underneath the mic. So thank you for telling me there was no sound. So again, let me do this over then. Shout out to Great Goodies. Thank you for being the first one in this morning. Shout out to Michelle Howell. Michelle Howell, thank you for being here in the second one in this morning. And shout out to Audrey Wright. That's what I said first. And then I said, shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. At that point, it was only two people or three persons in here. I said, watch this. This is where the people start to come in every morning as soon as I hit this part. Shout out to the drivers. Shout out to the Uber driver, the Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers around town, long distance truck drivers. Shout out to the garbage truck driver. Shout out to the school bus driver. And then the names just start coming in. I don't know if they time it and said, I don't want to hear that partner from SouFLo. I want to hear when it start get like, I don't know if you grew up in Jamaica or the Caribbean and you remember the man that used to sell peanuts and bubble gum and stuff, you know? It, and he was like, peanuts, bubblegum, Wrigley's, and this and that. And he would say, like, really fast everything that he had for sale. Upon that, something that we used to carry upon him hand like this. I'm sure they still do it. I see one and two around the country still do it. Big hustling. Yeah, that's where I get that from. My culture is embedded in me. Seeing? So when I say shout out to the drivers, the Uber driver, the Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town and long distance truck drivers, shout out to the garbage truck driver. Those are the people that I actually get that from. Anyway, it's the freaking weekend, baby! Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. We made it through another week. We made it. We made it through another week, man, and we're here, and we got a lot to give thanks for. We're healthy. I'm healthy. I'm strong. I'm feeling good. Vibrating high. My children are healthy. I don't have a thing to complain about per se that is worth complaining about. Life is good. With all wagwan, life is good. See? The little things that comes with life, I can deal with that. No major problems. So I give thanks on this day. I had a spirited conversation with Queen Ifrica yesterday in person. Seeing the Queen said reach out to her in the proper way, and I reached out in the proper way, and then I couldn't get in touch with her. Then she reached out back, and me say, all right, so I reach out back. And we're both busy people. I'm tearing this paper off the bottle because I don't want to advertise anybody's drinking water this morning. Okay, here we go. Put that over there. Water. All right. So I had a spirited conversation with Queen Ifrica yesterday. Pretty interesting. Could have went left and really bad really quickly, but it turned out. I will explain to you some of the things that was said, and there was a video that she put out though that I got. My name was called in it, and of course I responded. Right. So there are other things in the video as well. I will let you see the video. There are other things in the video as well that I feel we did not get a chance to iron out yesterday in the conversation. So I will just leave my points on those as well. So we're going to talk about the conversation with Queen Ifrica yesterday. All right. There's SouFLo here. Okay, here it is. There's a Dear SouFLo here printed out. Dear SouFLo, why won't he marry me? We'll get into that. We'll get into the Independent News puts out a report, a story about a black owner of a Jamaican cottage business says that she is banning black Americans from her business. I think she has opened up a can of worms. She's actually opened up. So we're going to open up dialogue on that, right? And on the relationship between African Jamaican or Black Jamaican or whichever one, because I'm learning now that, not learning, no, I've been known that there are, so let's just say Jamaicans versus Black Americans or African Americans. The funny thing is, you know, I'm a very I vibrate differently. The universe really draws stuff to you. You really have to be conscious and careful of what it is that you are processing, what it is you're putting your attention towards, because those things will manifest into your life physically. Seeing? All right. The conversation with Queen Ifrica yesterday manifested into my life physically, right? Something forethought of. This woman with this business, here we are about to discuss it. I just discovered this person on Instagram, and I am a kind of person that like to see my people do good. And then if them not depend some, if it's not just all about foolishness, then I will follow and I will encourage and I will, if the time is right and we cross paths, reach out and collab and all kind of other stuff like that. So I'm always looking for people that are that type of people, and I thought that's what was going on. Then me see some foolishness I go on. You ever followed somebody and then you're like, is this what they're really on? It's not a joke. Is this what they do? You know? So I seen that, and then here we are, front page news. Let's take this call real quick. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Morning, SouFLo.
Good morning, family. How are you doing this morning?
Boy, good, cause I got to do a live because from recently I've been busy and realize it. A long time I listen to a SouFLo live,
Yeah, wait there. You have upon speaker, Bluetooth, something. I want to hear you loud and clear, and we're not really hearing you loud and clear. Yeah, just speak up for me.
Yeah, so even yesterday, my dad looked for a live, and I'm like, oh shit, if not doing a live, I'm wake up early this morning, and I say, oh, I'm still not in a live, so I'm saying, no, I'm gonna go check now.
Mm-hmm.
So I just see your live, I'm saying, no, I'm happy, especially because the topic where you have Americans, African Americans banned from a business, the business that the lady own.
Yeah, Black owner of a Jamaican cottage business says that she's banning Black Americans from her business, and there's a whole article here printed in multiple major news entities carrying this big old story. So we're gonna go through the story and figure out what it is she's actually up to, kind of thing.
Yeah, because I was on TikTok recently since week, and that's how I heard about it. And it was actually this guy in America who was speaking about it, and he was saying that she was facing some backlash. So I went ahead and I went on her page where she was discussing what happened, and she said that she had like multiple different people from multiple different backgrounds who have like stayed there before, Spanish, Africans, different type of people.
Yeah, well, okay. I don't want to cut you off. But I have her article here where she stated exactly what in writing, so we can go over what her opinion is word for word of this. So I know why you relay what she said to me or how you
but just to,
understand
just to it, right?
Yeah.
Not to go in what she said,
right?
But there's one thing that I feel like Africans and Afro-Caribbean people have in common is that I don't want to say that we have a dislike for African Americans, but I feel a lot of times it's like there's this thing where with Africans and Afro-Caribbeans where we view African Americans that we're not to say them lazy, SouFLo, but there's a sense of entitlement from them a lot of times. Like I don't know if it's like they feel like they're better than us at times or so. But a lot of times you find that when
I can't make that narrative go no further, bro. I can't let that narrative go any further. I have to cut it. And no disrespect. I have to cut it because of this. I grew up here.
No, not saying.
No, listen to me. Listen to me. Don't let it go no further. I grew up here, right? I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I grew up here. So seeing the way how we acted as children towards and as young adults growing up towards, say, our African American brothers and sisters is a way that was taught to us by others who came and encountered them before us. So by the time I came to the US, then, for instance, right, the only people that actually ridiculed me, laughed at what I was wearing, wanted to fight me for no reason, used to call me Haitian, and I'm like a proud Jamaican, like a picnic. So I'm like, I'm not Haitian, I'm Jamaican. Y'all the same fucking thing. Take your ass back on a banana boat. Pardon my language. That kind of stuff is what we encountered. So that could have developed from African Americans. They were the only ones. But check it. Wait. Let me finish. Today, if you say what Afro Caribbeans and Africans have in common against Black Americans, I don't really see that narrative, because I know a lot of Africans and I know a lot of Caribbean people who are very entrenched in Black American, African American culture and move close with African American people.
No, the culture is one, and I don't think it's nothing where I just think it's a cultural difference in terms of how we grew up, especially with discipline. I feel like growing up in Jamaica as well as the Caribbean is like there's this discipline instilled in us where it's like,
don't say the culture is one, because it's not. It's not. Don't say the culture is one either, because it's not. And let's be for real. They have
culture, not as in the music, as in
no. Me not talk about music, my lord. Me I talk about in life in general, how we raise our children, our what we pass down to them through griot, through verbal, how we talk, the thing we run joke about is not joke to them, like the food is different, all that kind of stuff. The vibe is different. There's a difference between us, and that we cannot deny, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. With the difference, I agree with that. But that's what I was about to say. Like, you see, there's an element of discipline that we get compared to them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like
and then again, there you go. Then again, no, and see, we're limiting this conversation by saying there's an element of discipline between them and us. You see, there are loose ass Jamaican people who raise their children. Them are the one we call Lego Beast and Bugoyaga. We have them too. And then we have African Americans who are very strict, and they're all about education, and they're all about you can't be outside after a certain time. You know, the same discipline that we get when we were growing up.
Let me give you this.
Yeah.
You're older than me.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. I don't know.
So you have more life experience. You get me? Because I'm just 22. So I'll give you that. I have more life experience and more people to encounter. So, probably can change my opinion in the future.
Right.
And I agree with you. Like, you have some of them who are very instilled in, academic and, etc., while you have some of them who just hard-headed and whatever. And there's always more good. I believe personally there's always more good than the bad one. Them. It's just that the bad one them get what's the word, like, more spotlight. You get what I'm saying?
Right. And that's always how it is, right?
Yeah, same thing with Jamaican people.
Yeah.
Just two more things more touch on SouFlo. And I know that one of them may not have the full words for that, but may not say you probably still look up this stuff about the Gabriel King situation, because honestly more they get justice. As well as there's so many other cases in Jamaica that we hardly hear about. And it's just like once in a blue moon, and hopefully in the future Jamaica can change where when stuff happens we can get updates about them, etc. Because that situation SouFlo is BS. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That woman is wicked.
You're talking okay. You're talking about Gabriel King, right? Gabriel King. For those people are listening and them lost. And once the audience is lost, they don't want to hear you talk no more. They're like, make him stop talk so we can go to the article, please. So you have to carry them along. You know what I say? He's talking about Gabriel King, the young autistic child who was taken away in the car that was stolen from his mom, and the mom is not cooperating with law enforcement. The child's throat was slashed and he was left in the car on the side of the road. Anyways, no one has been charged up to this day, and the mother is refusing to give law enforcement the right to enter into her cell phone to get pertinent information pertaining to the investigation as to who killed our picnic, right? A lot of people are saying, if that was my child, I want to know who the killer is. I'm giving up cell phone, everything they asked for. Why is she protecting the cell phone so much? That's what he's talking about, right?
And the last thing so far, I'm just asking the audience to give me 2 minutes. Because I know it's like the hot topic of Jamaica right now. With the recent wage increase, right? I'm sure the Jamaican people figure that, and let me tell you why. The man said, due to the recent wage increases, right, is so that they can retain the best of the best politicians, right? Now, Jamaican politicians are not leaving to go to Cuba, Haiti, Dominica, or any other Caribbean country to elevate these countries, right? look at this. Jamaican teachers, public sector workers, and anybody else, young people are leaving the country at a rapid rate, which is causing brain drain, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to other countries, developing other countries, advancing their education, etc. And a lot of times they do not, at least have any plans to go back to Jamaica now, especially with the skill set that they have possessed in foreign lands, right? Now, why don't the Prime Minister say, let us pay the teachers and public sector workers who are very important to the country, that's developing the country day by day? Why don't we pay them good wages to retain them?
Right.
And why is it that when a payday for these people, they're not getting the money? Why is it that they have to wait? Politicians now wait every month and every 2 weeks or whenever they get paid to get the money in the bank account. But why is it that teachers, firefighters, police officers have to wait? It's disrespectful to the people of Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? These people have children and family to feed.
Right. And you know what they said? They answered that in 2021, I believe it was. And it was a big article in the Gleaner that said, we cannot compete with overseas incentives. Whatever they're being offered overseas to go away overseas, they're going to leave regardless. That's what the article said. They're going to leave regardless because they obviously cannot compete. You come over here, you're hired as a teacher, and you see how the life different, right? Even a Burger King worker can look at. But that is what the government answered the people by saying, that they cannot compete.
That's what they're going to say.
And they have to compete, my friend. They have to compete. They have to compete.
But the same way they can't find the money to pay for themselves. Honestly, I think the conversation has to be, what do teachers want? And obviously livable wages, because at the end of the day, if they get paid,
Dainty, big up yourself. Keep going, my brother.
Tax deductible is going to come out and etc. But at the end of the day, I guess people just want to see where them can, spend the money at supermarket, pay them bills, and have a little bit of money to spend, enjoy themselves and savings. But bless up yourself, so far, respect.
Manners and respect, my brother. Irawa, before you go, you need to tune in more often. Make you go this morning because people are busy, and I understand that some people. People work jobs and these things. No, man, not take up. You're good to go. Me just I said, if you tune in more often, all the topics where you touched this morning, we rinse them out already. So now the people who have heard them before, they're like, oh God, here we go again. I know that we want to hear, we want to go into. No, man, but it's all good. And I appreciate you calling in. Manners and respect, my brother.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Yeah, we'll give him a little leeway because, people busy out there. I was going to cut it a long time ago, but people are busy out there. Some people are working 2 jobs and going to school and all these things. You can't fault them for not finding the time. Then today say, he might take up all of the shout-out time. I want to hear my name now. Cut him off. All right, D, big up yourself, and thank you for being here. Thank you for always being here, and thank you for your long-standing support here. Let's take another call real quick. The material is waiting. Please be on topic. Please be on topic. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
SouFLo, big up the church.
Manners and respect, family. What go on?
Yeah, man. You don't know, so I don't come to
Eh?
And you know, so me the milk man like you, US milk,
Seeing. We're live by the air, so why the talk?
Oh, you know, so we see a black come out here and thing Ifrica to boy. Yeah, ring up our name and things, but you don't know, see a SouFLo.
Yeah, we are going to address that one this morning too. This is part of the morning live this morning, see?
Yeah, man, for real.
Yeah, we all are reasoning with Queen Ifrica yesterday still, so and in-depth reasoning too, so we have a lot to say this morning concerning that.
Yeah, man. You don't know what the artist when on Lincoln practice,
Seeing?
Yeah, man.
Well, all right, Yeah, man. You don't know SouFLoTV at gmail.com and you contact me that way and then we'll take it from there, so.
Yeah, man. I'm want to that man, I'm apply that, man, apply the we don't know to them straight. If you take with themselves, straight. If
you're in Florida and you know you're not straight, take for yourself. That's the message the man is That's the message the man is sending out this morning because the Santos is not playing. And that's all?
Yes.
All right. All right, my brother. Manners.
Yeah, bless up again.
All right.
Yeah.
Boy, we have to take serious thing, make joke. All right, so here we go. Let's get back to this conversation because it started out this way and it's very interesting. Let's get into the article of the. So these are the topics. First of all, why won't he marry me? It's a Dear SouFlo note. All right. Then there's the independent news published. Black owner of Jamaican cottage business says she's banning Black Americans. We're gonna get into that. And then Vibes Cartel in danger and the plot to kill him behind bars. We're going to get into that. All right, my conversation with Queen Ifrica, we're going to get into that. And Jamaicans up to no good in the US, we're going to get into that. 2 Jamaicans up in Connecticut rob up some AT&T stores, high-speed chase, mash up on highway with police, all kind of something. We try to lead them, we try to teach them, we try to tell them, say, don't bring the foolishness come a foreign, because it's 2 different places and these things. We might exit the show this morning on that note, where we can send an uplifting message to the youth them and to those big people who are going like them a little youth still and don't really understand how earth work. We're here to wake them up. So let's get to this now. Black owner of the Jamaican cottage business says that she's banning Black Americans. Okay. This is rather a peculiar story as a Black business owner in Jamaica states that she is not entertaining any more Black American guests. She is done with them. Them can't come back to our place. She states that the Black Americans that come to her cottage are entitled and they would want free items. Free items. She adds that she does not want Black Americans any longer for short-term stays at her cottage business. So she has like a nice little piece of land. She built a bunch of cottages on it. I do follow her on IG. I haven't unfollowed her yet. I wanted to go through this article and see what kind of interview she gave and what was said before I decide to unfollow or follow. See, the thing about following and unfollowing is this: people will still grow. Enough people unfollow me. They unfollowed me at 10,000 subscribers and told me I wasn't going to make it. 300 and something thousand subscribers later, they're filtering back in. Like, yo, me think you did I got dead and pass and gone already. Your thing wasn't going to survive. And it just grew and it just grew. So me unfollowing is just like me not spending my money on brands that I know are owned by people who care nothing about people like me, right? It's like that's my way of saying I'm not with your message. I'm not with your slogan. And, shape up. Seeing? All right. So there's an apparent disassociation among Black Americans and Jamaicans, according to CBS. It appears that Jamaican-born people are identifying themselves as different people. They are one of the many Black people who moved to the United States but are identifying as African American despite claiming not to be African American. Here's the funny thing. The funny thing is when the police pull you over here, right? And the police describes you, or if you're walking down the street and you look like a suspect, the police in the United States of America and every other place I've been, but let's stick to the US, because that's who she says she doesn't want. They will describe you as a African-American male with a light blue, sky blue shirt that has a Jamaican flag and some kind of slogan on the front of it, and he's wearing a hat. I can't make out what the other words are, but there's white writing on the front of the hat. It's a black hat, and he has glasses on. African American. That's exactly how they describe you. They don't look at you and say, well, there's a guy here who looks like maybe he looks like an Igbo man from Nigeria, or maybe he looks like he is from Grenada. Nah, he has a Jamaican shirt on. I bet he's Jamaican. But then probably he could be African American wearing a Jamaican shirt. They don't they put you right there as well, right? All right. So some of them do not identify as African American, but as Jamaican-born Black individuals. They're saying, don't call me African American, call me Jamaican-born Black individual. Now, regardless, there are several questions when it comes to the relations of African Americans and Jamaican-born Black people in the United States. Redditors stated that the cultural difference between the two is one of the reasons why they're quite distant from each other. The cultural differences between the two is why they are quite distant from each other. One of the first comments about this whole situation is that the woke left will accuse her of you can't really tell who wrote this article, but anyhow, one of the first comments about this whole situation is that the woke left will accuse her of being a hateful, bigoted person. She also described those that visit her cottage that happen to be African American as disrespectful, entitled, unappreciative. Conservatives are defending her, stating that she has no problem with African people and she doesn't have any problem with people from other regions. We must be careful. We must be careful as a people. I could already tell the language in this article was written in a divisive manner, and it is not to our best interests, neither hers nor those who she claims she no longer wants at her business. Conservatives are defending her. One black woman says, I don't want any more African Americans at my business, right? And conservatives jump in to defend you. Okay. So one of the first comments about this whole situation is that the woke left will accuse her of being a hateful, bigoted person. She also describes those that visit her cottage that happen to be African American as disrespectful, entitled, and unappreciative. Imagine if I had a business and I said, I don't want no more white people at my business. I don't want no more white Americans at my business. They are disrespectful, they are entitled, and they are unappreciative. You think I would get a lot of support for that from conservatives? Anyways, conservatives are defending her, stating that she has no problem with African people, nor people from other regions, just African Americans. Following that, there are comments stating that this incident is bringing out those who are literally bigoted. As we can see in the comments, there are some who are taking things a little too far. However, a majority of the comments disagree with this sentiment, stating that the woman has a right to speak about her business. Walmart has a right to speak about its business too. I wonder if Walmart came out and said, I don't want any more Jamaicans in here because, they come to America and a lot of them end up getting into crime and violence and all kinds of stuff, which is one of the stories we'll end on tonight. Robbing spree in Connecticut, robbing up a whole bunch of AT&T stores, high-speed chase, crashing, police cars, all kinds of stuff. Right. So what if they actually said that? Anyhow, they will use us against each other when it's convenient. And I'm speaking in between reading the article because I don't want to forget these points. Right? All right. Following that, there are comments stating that this incident is bringing out those who are literally bigoted. As we can see in the comments, there are some who are taking things a little too far. However, a majority of the comments disagree with this sentiment, stating that the woman has the right to speak about her business. Others speculate that it could be for financial reasons, as Americans are wealthier than Jamaicans in general. Furthermore, Twitter users state that when visiting another country, despite one's race, they should be respecting the locals more. Once there is mutual respect, it would be easier to make friends when holidaying. There are some black rights activists that are vehemently upset at this woman's claims towards African Americans. Naturally so. Following that, the user states that this is the blatant white supremacism from the past until today that is making them look bad. However, there are many who disagree with this sentiment as well. It is a sensitive topic for the most part, despite being widely discussed among those on the internet. That is the article about her. The funny thing about this article is once they showed her picture, without showing her face, I already knew who it was. Right? That's how her the dwellings look. These wood dwellings, and she speaks about why she made them that way because wood breathes better, and it's like some natural getaway kind of thing, eco-friendly, smaller footprints type thing, minimalist lifestyle, having fun, living naturally, eating off the land, living off the land kind of good concept she has for her business. And that's one of the reasons why I started following. I was like, yo, you don't need no big contract and no big concrete buildings and no multi-billion-dollar anything to start living that dream, right? And I was attracted to that, so I started following. But if she's out here saying that she is not going to have any more African Americans come to her business, and her excuse or her statement is that because they are entitled and they are disrespectful and they want things for free, I'm gonna just tell you like this, and I'm gonna draw from my own life experience again, right? My mom had a restaurant in Florida for over 2 decades. Her restaurant was the first Jamaican restaurant in the area where I reside now, in this county, in this part of the state of Florida. She was pioneering that movement. When mom first moved to this part of Florida, and I used to come up here to see her, I was like, why did you move to a countryside where all we see is cows and pastures and farms, and you're scared when the police pull you over in these bushes because it's like, what you doing around here, boy? Right? Fast forward 2 decades later, this is a buzzing city. I mean, traffic is back to back. So she saw the vision. And now we have multiple Jamaican restaurants here. But when I got out of the Army, for the last 2 years, before she closed that business down, for the last 2 years, and she didn't close it down because it was failing. She closed it down because it was booming out of control and she could not control it, like literally. And she could not. I used to call it a dope hole, meaning in a negative way, but meaning it's like you standing there and money would not stop coming. Even when all the other restaurants and businesses around us, people used to make comments to us like, damn, y'all the only ones on this plaza doing business. One lady said, I know y'all got money because y'all the only ones, because a guy tried to set up a jerk stand. This is my Jamaican people. Him come afar and him want opening business. He tries to set up a jerk stand in front of my mother's Jamaican restaurant that sells jerk. And it's like right next to the front door entrance of her business. So we got into a little squabble over that. You can't do that, right? If you want jerk chicken, I'll sell it, go over there, but you can't do it right at our doorway, literally, like right at the doorway. I could touch the door lock to open the business, and I could touch his jerk stand at the same time. It was that close, right? All right. What I noticed is the 2 years that I ran that business for, yeah, I'm getting at the back. I'm gonna learn how to cook certain things, and I learn how to like do everything, pretty much all aspects of it. I never ever had a problem with African Americans and our prices and what they wanted from the restaurant. Matter of fact, they were willing to always pay even extra. Some of them was like, give me all of it, right? You had some of them that would drive from like 2-3 hours drive, and they would make a date and they would show up and they would call before. And when they came, even if they came by surprise, they would literally take, okay, just give me all your beef patties. And we're like, damn, all of them gone. Of course, you're glad the sale is gone, but there's a long line of people that's waiting for more. So we got to be hustling and putting more in the oven and stuff like that. Same thing. They'll be like, just give me the whole pot. Well, we don't do it like that, but we do it by name a price. You know what I mean? I remember one dude, he was telling me, yo, pile my plate up with oxtail like this, my dude. And I'm like, it's not for free. I can't just, the man like went in his pocket, took out a wad of money like this, threw it. This one of them late nights I used to keep the restaurant open on the weekend 24/7. threw a whole bunch of money on the table. He was like, money is not a thing. The food is good. Pile my plate up. I'm talking about pile my plate up like this. I piled this plate so high with oxtail, and the amount of money that was on the table, I could have bought 2 pots of oxtail. This is what I'm saying to you. For you to generalize as a black person and describe a group of people who are similar to you in so many ways, not to mention genetics, as entitled, disrespectful, always want things for free. I knew nobody else that wanted things for free more than Jamaican people. In the whole time I was there for the 2 years, I knew nobody else that wanted things for free more than Jamaican people. They would literally pull up. If they pull up in a new Mercedes Benz and they're dressed nicely and they're like, yeah, they have the, you know, you work in a corporate environment, so you have your name tag and your this and your that. Well, bossy and thing, that's how Jamaican people are. And they'll come inside and they'll argue with you for $15 over a oxtail dinner. A large oxtail dinner, $15 or $18.50 or $17.50. Big rotted plate in a plate look like it need to share between at least 2 grown adults. And it's a 1-person meal and it's huge. $15? Really? No, man, I'm not trying to get rich too fast. I'm gonna try to find somewhere else to go, because it was from us, from my own people, that I encountered that all the time. Even I was cutting hair one time and it would be the same thing. They would literally come with them nice bike, pull up in the summertime, new shoes, latest Jordans. I'm talking about the ones that are like $350, collector's item type Jordans, and them show off the most with everything. And then when you tell them $10 for the haircut, they're like, brother, 7 I work with still, isn't me? You've been cutting hair here for the longest. You know damn well it's $10 for what you just ordered. And you telling me after me done do my work, about a 7 work with still. You know, that's so how did we get to this? Now, me being in Jamaica, I notice how you're treated if they think you are African American versus if you are Jamaican. And that's me going to like Chinese people's store and all that. When them feel send me are just a regular Jamaican, that's how my stuff get fling on the counter. Them just fling it. I'm like, why are you flinging my stuff? I didn't fling my money to you when I paid you. I handed my money to you. I would appreciate you handing my money back to me, right? Them fling change on everything. You have to like gather up your own shit. And I'm like, yo, we empower these people to come here and treat us like that, right? But I'm not saying anything. I'm not speaking. Or if I speak, you know, I talk like this, yo, you can show me which part the so-and-so is, please. So they automatically assume. Now, when I flip into, is this how you treat everybody? This is disrespectful. Why are you throwing my money across the counter? Then they hear a different accent, and then they're like, I apologize, and they start being nice, right? The next time I go back, it's like, hi, how you doing? You find everything all right? So African Americans get the same damn treatment that Black Jamaicans get until they find out that you are African American and not just a Jamaican. Unless you're wearing something where them can tell, say, a foreigner, I know, then they come at you different, right? So it's the same thing all around and all across the board. End of the day, what she's doing is she's blighting her own business. That's what she's doing. Now, there's a thing, and I want my people to understand this. There's a thing about my people in this place here. When they see white skin, they automatically think riches. They automatically think their water is fresher than mine's. Their sugar is sweeter than mine's. Everything from them is good. Everything from them is better than mine's. Better you have a child with a white man because he will never neglect his child. You know, that kind of stuff. That's a thought that was embedded and ingrained into them from way back when till now, and the majority of them still subscribe to it. Sat at restaurants before, and you will notice how the waitress will go over to the table that has the white patrons 100 times. You guys okay? You're enjoying the meal? Do you need anything else? They're back in another few seconds, and we sitting over there like, okay, I mean, I got a fat ass tip here for you, but you're not earning it. When are you going to come back to this table and ask us if we need some more water? Do we need anything else? Are we enjoying the meal? You know, it's all over there. And I'm like, look on them. Them I work for the tip, and they don't get a damn thing. They don't. And I'm holding on to something and I'm willing to give it because I'm looking at them like, I'm in a better position financially. I live overseas. I make a bit more money. I see what you do for a living, and I hear your complaints all the time. So this is my way of giving back, right? I come in, I order a meal, I sit and eat, and the tip that I give you is more than the damn meal that I ordered and paid for and sat and ate, right? But you didn't earn it. So I get up and I don't give you nothing neither because I see that institutionalized thoughts in action from you, and it will backfire on her. I'm not even it'll backfire to the point like this. I'm not even gonna get up and say, here is the name of her business, and here because it's advertisement. And if this is your sentiment that you don't want African Americans at your business anymore, then you probably don't want people like me there as well anymore either. Right? And that's how I feel about that. They end up with nothing. Yeah, Vicky Victory, they end up with nothing. And because people like us, we're willing to give them, but they're looking at us like, y'all probably just some broke Jamaican. You're not giving no tip anyway. Or you're black, you don't have no money. Or you black, you don't tip. Or you black. Everything is negative with you black, so you this. You black, so you this. You black, so you this. Everything negative comes up in their mind. That's all that they've been taught. So they automatically see white only, just like her with her business. She's probably thinking white people are going to come here and it's going to be loving and peaceful because they're loving and peaceful and their money is always sure. And then when they come back and I can establish links with some white people that knows things overseas and that's how they look at it. She make off a few bad apples spoil the entire crop. Exactly, Audrey, right? We don't like it. We don't like when people point out the dirty, nasty, Bugoyaga Jamaican them overseas, whether it be Canada, England, the US, anywhere in the world. We don't like it when they point them out and then use that to describe all of us. We hate it. We hate it because so many of us actually are far different from that. But that's what we've come to be known as, right? You Jamaican? Yeah. Oh, I know how y'all get down. Y'all would kill for no reason. Actually, I reason my way out of stuff like that. You know where the weed at? I know y'all be selling that. Actually, I don't sell weed. Oh, y'all be getting that dope for the low, transporting it to Florida, right? Because y'all close to Haiti and all that. Actually, I know nothing about cocaine transportation, Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Blessed SouFLo, what going there?
Manners and respect, family. Want me there?
You know, me there on the road in the morning. I'm in the office this morning.
All right, talk to him, man.
Me kind of go off topic a little bit, because you touch something right now when me been wanting to talk about from when, Because me is a server in a SouFLo. See, a server work me doing a foreign. I did from before me come a foreign, but past couple years me start back in a foreign. You know?
Saying.
Me love money and everyday money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, for the tipping thing, you see, sometimes you have some server out there where what you color, I pay for them, and feel like, say, all right, the white man are going to tip you more than what the black man are going to tip you. Which in most cases it is not so. You know what I mean? But as a server in a foreign, let me tell you what I don't like. I don't like when my own kind, when I say my own kind, the Jamaican, them come a restaurant and them want this. That means a great server.
Same.
See? And they want this and they want that. And you know, you see people, you know how we talk, we see people, we check for people, them down.
Yes, true.
So you check for your people, them, and you make sure so them good. And then get up and then don't take you. That piss me the fuck off. It make me feel bad. And the next thing I'm gonna like, I'm here, they say it already, Mr. Jamaican come here. And I say, oh, if you want better pay, you go look better work. Real thing, me I tell them, I see something, a long time I need SouFLo, I see something. But nothing hurt me more than when my own kind, they violate me and them to find out where they.
Talk, like, brother. Yeah.
Ask you about other things. You get good service, no tip.
True.
You understand what I say? If you spend $300, I want to look for me and give me $10, I want to give me $5. Bullshit. In a work so.
True. And we can relate. We can relate that we actually do look out for each other. Cause any which part me have, I'll tell you something. My favorite seafood restaurant, I'm not gonna call the name because I don't want to get nobody in or nothing. But my favorite seafood restaurant in Florida here. Anytime me go there, right? When my seafood tray, when my Jamaican, my 2 Jamaican them there, my seafood tray look like me pay about $200 feet, brother. And my thing does top up and look nice and heavy, right? And anytime they're not there, when me bring that home, everybody else can say, they weren't there today, huh? I'm going to say, no. Yeah, I could tell.
When the people know, say, oh, then take care of you.
Yeah.
All right.
A true man.
But SouFLo, on a serious level, more you do a topic on this tipping thing, you know. So I'm going to feel like, especially we, in the diaspora, understand this tipping culture, you know. You understand? Because I put a thing on my TikTok the other day when I say, yo, when you go eat and your bill come to $200, the least you're supposed to tip on a $200 bill there. The least is with $38, the least you're supposed to tip. See? $38, $40, 20%.
Say
me I got 18%. See, it's about 37, 38, somewhere there. So. See, a lot of people when they go eat, you spend all $300 and you look for the server and want to give $5, $10 and go like you tip them big. That's an insult.
And them say,
you never give none.
Them I got say, well, here one. You see me now, me I tell you something, right? We don't want to say that. We don't want to say better you never give none, because that's exactly what them going to start do.
Me as a server, I say, I'm going to tell you why I'm going to say. I'm going to tell you why I'm going to say. You see, a server, they have to tip out based upon their sale and certain things, see? So when you're sale, it's all right, it's $1,000 your sale. See? You're supposed to go with $200 out of your pocket at 20%. See?
Half a $1,000 amount sale.
Half a $1,000 sale deal. See? No. All right. You have to tip out your busser, your food runner, and your bartender. See? Based upon, say you have to tip out 5% out of that. See? No, when them not tip you, you know, when a person come and not tip you or under tip you, you know, you still have to tip out whosoever work under you, and that still, you know, and that they don't understand that, you know, brother.
You have to share up the tip.
You still have to share. You understand me? I say, so
yeah.
When you give me the $10, you know, take probably facts that a $300 your bill just come to. I'm still have to go for $300. If you understand where I come from.
Yeah, but here what? This is what most people, I understand where you come from. We're going to cover that another day, because we don't want to go way into the tipping thing and get off topic.
Man.
But just like Audrey Wright said in the comment section right here, I tip based on good service, and if your service is shabby, you'll get a shabby tip. And to be honest,
understand all of that.
And me know what you are saying, or you is a good server. Me not doubt your thing. I know you is a good server and you deserve your tip. But on the other side, I have had shabby service before, and it actually made me reduce the tip.
Me got there as a server. Me got there as a server, but eat. And me make them know, say, watch out. Me is a server, where you go on with me in 2 places. And me tell them, but me still tip them at the end of the day, because I guess I go, probably them never know. Just like I say, white man over there, they go visit the table, how much you in time. You know what I mean? I don't visit you.
Yeah, me not tip you. Me not tip you good if your service shabby though. If me can't go at the mechanic and him don't fix it right and it left me a roadside.
Me just use it as a teaching moment sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes I tell a straight to you know, so me is a server. I understand how thing I ain't deal with me good and me get up and me go and let if you serve me good.
You know me
that is very rare.
And you know how me do that now? You know how me do that now? I would have about $5 bill there, and I would say this would have been all your tip, but you didn't do this, that, and the other. So here is $5. Take it as an insult if you want to. The rest goes back in my pocket on my left. Next time you see me there at that restaurant, you know, say, well, it might have $5 bill in my pocket when one. Give me, you know, I didn't tip him, I didn't service right before, so let me tend to him better this time. I'm come back. Me as a man, when me not even go to people place, if them treat me bad, me not come back. Especially where food is concerned. All right.
I got late for it, go eat one time, you know. White people place, white people restaurant, and just as you said, in a restaurant, go visit every other table and come visit mine. I mean, they may talk to her and I say, I'm going to give you a good tip. Or rest them still going to give you a good tip. There are reasons. I say, it's a good tip is do a better job next time and you get a great tip and pick up and walk out like human people. You understand?
Ambitious. Let's end the tip talk on this. Ambitious Hustler said, I mean, notice I got steam your head top. Ambitious Hustler said, you're gonna take whatever tip I give you. You're not entitled to my money. It's mine. Yes, start.
Me hear all of that. I understand all of that.
Okay. All right. Here, my brother. That one day is a good one. We're gonna pick up on that. Come on, continue with the rest of them topic and all these things. All right. Manners and respect here, sir. All right.
Now reach in and out, so we have a tune in again.
All right. Bless up.
Yeah.
Yo, the man are defending tips. I want to tell you, but that's how they make their money. Because most of those servers, they don't get paid. They get paid below minimum wage, and then that with their tips. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning, SouFLo.
Good morning, family. Do you have us on speaker or Bluetooth or anything like that?
Speaker.
Do you?
Okay, I took your speaker. Just to touch a little bit on the whole tip issues. Normally, I usually tip like 20%.
Okay, see, now we're going into tipping. Not to cut you off, but we were on this whole conversation about you know what? Just let it flow. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be quick. And to be fair to the server, they don't get minimum wage. Sometimes they pay is like $5, $6 an hour. So they depend on their tip.
Yes, that's what I just said. They get below minimum wage.
Exactly.
I know that for a fact.
And a lot of us, sometimes we go in, we get service, and we really don't tip.
Yeah, true.
And that is not fair.
Yeah.
I mean, even if sometimes the server is not like up to par, you don't have to tip them your 20% or your 10%. You give them something.
Right.
But it's just unfair to just go in and just sit and eat and walk out unless something went terrible wrong. You know?
Yeah. True. I agree. I never dine out without tipping though. I always tip, and it's just a habit. Because I understand that they make below minimum wage. I understand that they're largely dependent upon their tips to make a salary. And I understand that most of them are barely scraping by financially, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. But not everybody thinks like that. Some people will think like this and use this to justify not tipping. You should be happy I come here to eat. Because if we don't come here to eat, you don't have a job. You see what I'm saying? So we have a saying that's old school, and it says slow money better than no money, meaning I'll take my 5 and I'll not say nothing. You know, the next person give me 20, I'll take that and I'll be happy still. Same way, but it's better than getting 0.
Well, that's true, but we need to be fair. I used to work as a cashier when I just came here, and people would come in and sit and eat and just get up and walk out and don't leave and even leave a cent. And because they come there all the time, they think that, oh, I'm a regular customer. I used to hate serving those people.
Because
No,
once you
honestly,
saw them, you knew, right? It's gonna be a
yeah,
whole lot
because
of
you're just gonna
service. They're demanding the best,
exactly.
and you know you're not getting the damn cent
You're
out of
not gonna get a penny just because they come
yo.
every day. They come and eat. I come every day, not a penny. And I was like, look at this one, and I just go over, smile,
And you,
and just do my thing.
and-
But people, you have whatever it is, you have to. You have to tip.
yeah, I
This is
agree.
how this is
I
how
agree.
these people make their money.
I agree. I absolutely
You
agree.
gotta do better.
All right, family. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. All right, so enough of that tip something then. No, I'll tell y'all something, right? If I go to a restaurant, I frequent this restaurant all the time. Always make sure you listen. Always make sure you tip good, especially if it's somewhere where you go all the time. You know why? You don't want them to look at you come through the door and they're trying to figure out who's gonna serve that table because nobody don't want to take your table. Cause everybody know you as the person who demands top of everything. Check on me 100 times. Am I doing well? Do I need more water? Should I refill your drinks? Something, do you want to order anything else? Is your chair feel cushy enough? Blah, blah. Is the AC just right for you? Yeah, check on everything. And they know you not tipping $1. You know what? I'm well paranoid. I start thinking they might do something to my food just out of spite. Just out of spite. No, listen up. As a young teenager, I used to work at Church's Chicken in Miami. That's one of my first jobs. And when people came through the drive-through and they were very disrespectful, like one syllable short of suck your mother disrespectful, we used to do stuff in the back. Your chicken meets the floor for sure. For sure. And package it nice for you and give you with a smile and say, thank you, ma'am. Have a wonderful day. And then they cuss out your ass through the intercom, hurry your ass up. You sound slow. Didn't you hear me say no? I didn't say number 4. I said number 2, dummy. And you're like, who's this lady talking to? Ma'am. Don't ma'am me, mother. Hurry up. Y'all always take long over here. Okay. Chicken meets floor. Yeah. Biscuit meat floor. And rub on floor too. We talking about in the place where we pull all the raw chicken out and then bring them in at Yo, we used to do some things to the food. Them can't do me nothing. It's been years. It's been a long time. It's been long time, right? It's not like I got to go clock into work today. But I'm telling you that if you go to a restaurant all the time, you don't want to be the person who, when they see you coming, they think, yep, there goes Mr. High Demand and no tip at all. Because that'll be your name. High demand and no tip at all. You want the best service. You don't even leave $1. Make a budget inside of your dining budget to actually leave a tip. I make it a habit to leave a tip. See? Back to this business though, that the black owner of a Jamaican cottage business says that she's banning Black Americans. There's a big mix-up going. So it's funny that this came out right after. Me no bite my tongue, me talk. Somebody wanted to. She made a video where somebody wanted to label her business as that she's selling sex at the business, right? Like she's arranging sex meetups. So she said, okay, since you want to do that, then may I come out and talk everything? And she came out and she talked about some person who called her and paid this much money and said they wanted to come to Jamaica and they wanted some big wood man for rum out them hole while they're there, and they wanted to have a whole heap of alcohol to drink and enjoy Jamaica to the fullest and all this. And she said that she would accommodate them, and then the relationship between them went sour. She said she refunded their money. This is a week before this drop. Black owner of Jamaican cottage business says that she's banning Black Americans. So I'm wondering if one has anything to do with the other. You know, some people, when you fall out with them, the first thing they try to do is to damage your business, taint your brand, And we all know how important branding is nowadays and business is, right? Word of mouth is very powerful. Social media, the internet is out there. You can really do damage to somebody's business via the internet. You can move the masses via the internet. So I guess she was trying to do some damage control and whatever. So she said, you know, but a week after that accusation that she defended, I'm sliding by and I see she's putting up a video that says she's going to be doing singles. She's going to be hosting singles weekend or singles night. So a bunch of single people come get in at these little cottages way up in the bush somewhere. What do you think about to happen? And we're here to mingle and we're here to meet, right? And we're in Jamaica. Where you think this all happen? A backers run a banana tree, brethren. Hold on upon the breadfruit tree, my girl, and split it away there. Because we might never see each other again. And I have one in a cabin number 12 and I want to stab up before me left here too. And these so she's making it. I guess she's making it like before we get into the singles thing, we don't want none of them in there. See, we don't want none of them in there. Black American, you're not welcome. Singles thing over here, so come get you some. She actually said, come get you something. I don't want to quote the lady wrong and mash up our business. I don't think she said, come get you some sex, but I'm thinking that something along those lines, or come get you somebody, or come get you some, or something like that. Hey, I wish her nothing but success with her business. And if white people and others other than African Americans can keep you afloat, make you rich, bring you to a place where you realize your dreams, both financially and all other alleys, then by all means, go ahead and do your thing. I just think that the whole concept of branding a whole people with those words is not okay. It's not okay. And based on that, I will stand in solidarity with my African American brothers and sisters, and it'll be a place that I will never visit. It'll be a place that I will never promote. It'll be a place that I won't even follow anymore on social media. That way, right? All right. The next thing moving right along now is I had a conversation with Queen Ifrica yesterday. And, you know, I told my audience before, I said, so this is how it all went. There was a protest going on in Jamaica. Queen Ifrica came out and she stood on the front lines with the people, which is what she is known for doing, among other things, right? That is why when she didn't say what I wanted to hear her say to the Prime Minister, instead me see her give him a hug or him hug her up, I came back and made another video and I said, well, damn, it looked like she a part of them too, a part of the system too. All our entertainers have political connections or some kind of alignment. Remember I said that? Some kind of an alignment to one or other of these political parties. That is why they cannot steer the people clear of worshiping one or the other, right? So they're not in it for the betterment of the country. They're in it for gains in whatever incentives comes from their affiliation with whatever political party they decide to align themselves with. All that stuff. So Queen Ifrica was out in the streets and she said, ever since the Maroons signed that treaty, something there and she said the year, you know, we've been suffering ever since. Me wanting to know what that was about, a lot of people that was on here was watching it wanted to know what that's about too. So I told the audience, I said, you know what? I'm going to reach out to Chief Curry and I'm going to reach out to Queen Ifrica and I'm going to try to get an understanding of what that's about. And I'll bring that understanding back to the audience so we all are educated on that part of our history. All right. I reached out to Queen Ifrica. I reached out to Chief Curry. Queen Ifrica did not answer. Chief Curry answered. Chief Curry never said anything much about when I asked him what Queen Ifrica meant. All he said was, what she said, only she can define what she said, basically, or what she meant, right? Only that's what the chief said. He never said a foolishness she talking up and me not understand where she's or she's trying to stir up trouble. He didn't say anything other than what she said is she can define that. I cannot speak for her and what she meant by that. That's what he said. I said, okay, no problem, Chief. I'm reaching out to her as well. Hopefully she'll answer. It took a long while for her to answer, right? through the conversation that we were having yesterday, I learned a couple of things. Like, for one, she was not on social media anymore for a while. And it started around that time where she took herself away from social media. Now, some people might find this hard to believe, but I have a sister that's like this. Same mother, same father. My sister, when she ready, is like, no TV. Matter of fact, she probably still don't watch no TV, right? At all. No TV, no. There was one time where this girl had only one yoga mat in her whole apartment, and she could afford nice things. One yoga mat, no bed, no nothing. And they just get to a different level. So people live differently, right? And she was like, I didn't see it. So when she did see it, however, you know, apparently she still didn't see it. So she made a video, and the video goes like this. And based on that video, my name was mentioned. And then I hit the comment section and I said, well, tell me how to reach out to you then. Because she said the virgin named SouFlo need to reach out to me proper, in a proper way. Right. And I reached out in the way that I was instructed to reach out. Right. I said, tell me how to reach out to you then. Because I hit your inbox and I didn't get a reply. Seeing? I think this is it. Let's see. It's a video where she was also scolding
Hey guys, good morning. Hope everyone have all our energy.
Listen to the context.
And I love life for what it is, you know. Footer hype. You can't defend Richard Curry here. You can't defend Richard Curry. So whoever call your phone and I tell you say if you defend Richard Curry, I don't know Sir P neither. Because me have my own questions about Sir P.
I do too.
So I say, but you can't defend Richard Curry.
I don't know nothing about that.
Footer hype. And also a virgin named SouFLoTV. You need to reach out to me properly, SouFLoTV, before you get up every morning and have full debates on my name. I remember now we know what I do and see what I do, you know. And we decide so we not take it no more. We have to leave Jamaica people alone now. The whole I want to leave Jamaica people alone now. And that's what I say. So footer hype, you can't defend Richard Curry. You hear that? And it would be very good if everyone who are hearing me I say, really and truly make we start work out this thing together. So I say, instead of call around the place and I try to get people to silence me. So I say, how much longer I'm not going to try to silence Jamaica people voice and the people them will speak justice for Jamaica. How much more we're not going to want to silence the voice them for. Leave Jamaica people alone now, man. That's where I say, man, the whole out, man. Because all you footer hype, you know, you see you know, easy, you know. I'm not sure what you're up to, you know, youth. It's what I say. Because some of them justice, they want to sit down and fire and split. You don't need to come on the rock, come see what really are going down here for overs, what kind of justice, you know, really are split, you know. You come jump in a thing and come talk about, yeah, defend Richard Curry. Why you not telling people them publicly, say most of the things them we talk about are things when me and you reason about what you learn from the footer. I'm going to leave Jamaica people alone now. I'm going to not joke about it. It's what I say, I hear that thing, all I want to do about an influencer. It's what I say. I don't know what Jamaica people really are going through, boy. None of them really know what Jamaica people are going through, boy. You know, get up every day, I would do an analysis and I chat up on the mouth like you don't know what Jamaica people are going through. No know what Jamaica people. We know what Jamaica people are going through. Because we live in it. Hey guys, good morning.
All right.
Hope everyone.
Just so you have context, right? Let me answer this phone call real quick. This is somebody I want to hear. Live on the air with SouFlo. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, SouFlo.
Morning, family. Talk to me now.
Okay, I'm gonna relate to what Queen Ifrica is saying, right? Let me turn on this TV because I'm kind of pissed. Hold on. All right. I'm me the one who talk up on J Radio and say, Queen Ifrica come out. When time think they did this Ninja Man and the war did a try for brew, we that try for brew the war with Tall Up and Spice, and me go up on J Radio and say, yes, or them a try for this the Dan Gargan. I'm glad old Queen Ifrica step out. Everybody has step out and we don't like certain things we are going. See? So when Queen Ifrica go, when we start, because I went on her page the other morning when she that taught the same video they were show. See? And I said, leave foot alone, go and go sing a hit song. Because me start pre-R when she come out with a little mix up thing. What yes, she do things and nobody cannot overlook what Queen Ifrica does. You understand me? But when she come out and then she swear, I say, yeah, Ray. See? Come rate Queen Ifrica. I'm the rater, I go and see what I want. See? And when she come with the little mix-up thing, even with Lady Saw was not talking to Spice. She was talking about the church people and thing. And then when she talk about this and that, we the diaspora,
fix up a phone.
For care more about Jamaica than them without them like hello.
You there?
Me there. Me feel like we should be a foolish. Me really don't want to hear it. Me get no come away and watch you know. I'm not a blogger. I'm not a blogger. But at the end of the day, I disrespect. The whole of we love Jamaica. More than enough of them are down the way I mash up Jamaica. And we say, whoa, we look at Jamaica. Enough of we still believe in what we believe in. That says not Queen Ifrica. I know you're probably here this morning. But it's not you alone care, Queen Ifrica. You know, you just say people come in and mix up the righteous man. You understand? Go back in line and look at it.
The phone, somebody say all your phone pissed off to call you. Yeah, somebody say all your phone pissed off to call. We can't hear you no more. You're just gone into.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just saying, SouFlo. Let her do what Queen Ifrica do what you do best. For the people, we love you. You know what I'm saying? Don't swear I'm going on a little mix up thing and all of that. And that's not how we know you.
Right. And yeah, I'm gonna have a conversation behind that. But you say your piece, right?
Yes, SouFlo.
All right. Now me I gonna get into my part. All right.
Cool.
All right. So on this whole thing, Queen Ifrica went and when she went and checked her IG, the message exactly says, oh wow, I'm seeing this, or I didn't see this before, or something like that. Here's my number. She left her number immediately, right? I reached out, she was busy. And then she reached out back to me. I'm a family man. My day starts at 2 a.m. every day, right? Unless I'm overtired, I'm extended sleep. But my day start 2 a.m. every day. So by the time 6 o'clock coming in the evening, 7 o'clock in the evening, I'm going to bed. So she called back around almost 10 o'clock at night. Me gone on my bed. But I saw it the next morning. And then she called again the next morning and I missed it. I think I went to the gym that morning and didn't take this phone with me. I took the other phone. So I didn't see it either. So she made more than efforts to reach out to me after. Seeing, and I reached out back and we eventually had a long conversation yesterday. Now, what I can tell you, what I gathered now, first of all, Missy Vicky put up a comment earlier that says, don't start talk to celebrities and then make them change your views or something like that. Nobody can change my views. I'm not attached to any brand per se. Nobody can tell me I'm going to lose sponsorship if me don't say this or if I do say that and all that. I speak for me. I'm a kind of person that I like to learn and I like to split justice straight down the middle. Queen Ifrica conversation started out kind of rough because she was offended. Whether she wanted to say or not, she was offended. She was offended by certain things that I've said. She said, you know, we used to tune into your thing from way back when, but I stopped a while now when I saw that the narrative changed. And there was like this negative undercurrent every time you had a discussion about Queen Ifrica. So I want to ask you personally, what is it that you have against me or whatever? And me, I say, you know, you have to listen to my whole conversation. Please tell me what I ever said negative about you directly. And she quoted some stuff, which was what I was reading to the audience. It wasn't me saying it. I tell you when I'm reading stuff, right? So may I tell her, I say, you have to listen to the whole argument. And I leave room for the trivial, the foolishness. Some mornings we get in here with us lose my mind. We're uncouth, we're unbalanced, we're disrespectful. We tell some people to leave if this is not their kind of party. Adult morning, we talk about who get right this way, if you do it that way, all kind of something. And then we get into the sensible stuff. And at the end of the day, even when we are use serious thing, make joke, this is me explaining to her how I do my format, right? Even when we are make joke and take serious thing, make joke, and we are do, you know, talk foolishness and we joke out everything, I always end with sense and balance. So if you're not listening to my whole conversation involving your name and you just take out snippets of it, you might be offended. Because if somebody a laugh, me I gonna laugh too if it's funny, right? But at the end of the day, you will hear me say something like, no man, don't do her like that. No, me not like that one there. Me not like that one there, or something like that, right? Anyway, we had a conversation yesterday. The conversation started off rocky because I could tell she was a bit defensive, you know, and she was asking me why me so defensive. Honestly, I was sitting in my backyard with my foot them cock up. And I told her, I said, I'm actually sitting in my backyard with my feet elevated by my pool, chilling. Uh, I had a drink in a cup. I was chilling. I'm not one bit of agitation. You know, I just want the conversation to flow so we can get a balance because I wanted to figure out what going. What I learned yesterday is this. Queen Ifrica is like my sister. She's not, you see my sister? You can't have no trivial conversation with my sister. I can't even reminisce with her. I can't even be like, you remember one time we did first start drinking, we did get drunk on. She's like, bro, that part of our life is gone. And it wasn't nothing healthy and it wasn't anything beneficial to us. I don't want to reminisce on that. You know, let's talk about where we are now and how we can move forward. That is how Queen Ifrica is. So when you hear her calling the names and saying what she has said, she has tried to navigate her way through the mix-up to get to the balance part. The balance part of, listen, end of the day, everybody pull it in and let the cow, everybody know what them know about each other. If I saw it go, so let's pull it in and let's deal with it as, you know, as a team over here. So fix it in-house. And then that's her main sentiment. And I said to her, I said, did you hear how I ended that segment on the last video I put up? Because she was quoting from the last video since it was more recent. She said, no, I never hear it. Cause tell you the truth, SouFLo, me did too, you know, like she was turned off and she was, you know, she was pissed. So she just stopped listening. I say, that's why you should listen to the whole thing. Y'all remember what I said at the end? At the end, I said, what I really want to see is unity. I want to see the sister them do an all women's show. Spice says she's going to do a rhythm that's supposed to have all women on it. I've been saying it for a couple of years now that I want to see a concert that has all women in it. Bring back the one them from way back when. Give the nation a history on stage from who started sing from way back when Mentor, Dub, Scab, all that Dub, Scab, all this come all the way up to, you know, reggae, raga, dancehall, all the way up to when dancehall start chop now and all these other kind of things, chopping, whatever. Give them all of it and let it be all women and unify all sections of the genre and all that. That's what I said. But you never hear it. See? So what's really happening? Me and Queen Ifrica actually went into a deeper conversation. She gave me a lesson because she did answer she did give me the answer that I was seeking from me initially contacting her to find out what did that mean when you said that treaty being signed, and Jamaican people have been suffering ever since. We had a conversation that could be held for another day. but the conversation went into me learning, and not learning because I always knew this. I've always told my audience, I said, I know, black people come from Africa. That's the cliche. That's the thing to say. But for some reason, I'm one of the Jamaicans that trace my roots far back as I could remember. We have our own family burial ground, see? So I'm going to pour some rum for my great-grandparents, them grave, and all them people that about the place. Everybody who passed away at this of them bury, for our own piece of land, right? And the land been passed down from generation to generation to generation. I don't have any history of Africa. And we came here through transatlantic slave trade. My people have always been in Jamaica. So you have a set of people that are Jamaican, that are indigenous Jamaicans. And she is explaining that those are the people that get, pardon my language, and them are the people who get fucked when the treaty gets signed. Because what these Jamaicans who were never enslaved and that were always free because they were dealing with whoever was there also from before, right? Before white man come in and start do for them thing, when the Africans were getting enslaved and they were coming in through chattel slavery and they were running away to the hills looking for, it was us who were already established on the island who took them in. But what they did was they became traitors because some of them, just like how you see it today, some of them would go back to the plantation and tell, or go back to where the laws were, the capturers were, and tell them, say, they hiding up. I could show you where they hiding at, massive. Yeah, I could show you where they're hiding at. That kind of stuff. So that was where the conversation for me and her became me learning. But it wasn't me learning. I knew this, but I wanted to understand what her comment meant. Because she said, Chief Curry them needs to come out and tell the people them the truth, And from sign that treaty there in 17, however, we've been suffering ever since. I wanted to find out what that was about. And that's what that was about. See? So at the end of the day, there's no animosity. I know she never rough with me. Because some people are saying, Lord, she rough, she come in like a man, and all these things. She wasn't rough with me. She wasn't, she's very firm in her speech though, but she wasn't rough with me. You know what I say? She me get called babes too, and just like I watch her interview, and she was referring just like how in the South you go to the store, all right, baby, okay, honey. And yeah, I said, Lord God, why the woman call me honey and she don't know me? But it's just a part of their speech kind of thing. So the conversation ironed out itself and it ended peacefully. And what I gathered from that is, more than anything, Queen Ifrica wants peace and unity. And she wants the bigger picture. The bigger picture. Because the bigger picture for me is to hear there's going to be the stage show. Like how Shaggy have Shaggy and Friends. How like Alkaline have New Rules. How like them have some fest, Sun Splash, all these things. Junior Reid is now going to do his he rolled out his, so Junior Reid will come out with his own concert kind of thing as well. And I would love to see, and I've said this way before this conversation with Queen Ifrica, I would love to come. I'm tired of go stage show and see beer man on the stage. And I know that the women can sing. And I know that there are women out there who can perform. And there are women out there who have a conscious message within their music. Even the one them when I have it. When them all come skin out, me want to see them too. But me just want to see a night full of woman and thus unity and love on the stage. It would send a powerful message to our girls, our women, right? And to the industry itself. Like, you can't step on us no more, really. You can't push us in a corner no more, really. You can't lock we up in a studio at night time and fool we say a song where I come record, but a rape, you go rape we off in there. You can't, because their journey is to be told. Their stories are to be told. It's out there. Who want to talk, I go talk, right? Remember, Maka Diamond come out and give out for our story the other day, and then Tanya Stevens or Tanya did, then Maka did, and some others did, and we started seeing this trend where, is a whole heap of them go through, certain things. Some want to say the women them empowered. And I came away from that conversation feeling like she's on the same page. So I tell her, say, we were talking hard to each other at first, but it's a misunderstanding because apparently we're on the same team. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that I won't speak about now. I will wait for it to develop as well myself. But when we left, let's just put it like this. Queen Ifrica is on the front lines. And we can leave it at this. She asked for our prayers because she not signing when need for sign. She not bowing where needs to be bowed down to. She is not riding a certain agenda, and she is confronting certain people and exposing certain things. I know what that feels like. I had policeman or alleged policeman tell me already. So when them come to America, them come up here, come murder boy like me, and fly go back to Jamaica like nothing no happen, and them can't solve the murder here, and these kind of things. So them things that get me paro. That's why I want to say guns up and guns out and guns all about. Yeah, them things that get me paro. So I know exactly where she's at and what she's going through, and if she's feeling threatened, but she's not backing down from her message. Of course, the pasa is there, the mix-up is there, but she's disappointed. But I was explaining it to her that this is how the world is now. This is how the internet is. It's like feeding the masses a bitter medicine, but you have to give them the sweet licorice with it, right? And the sweetness for them is the mix-up and the pasta, and this one say you're gay, and that one say, me see her over there, so when they've never seen you in life in person, and that one said this, and this one said that. That's what the people gravitate towards more, and that's frustrating for her. But in navigating all of that, she's trying to get to the medicine. But a lot of people are stuck with the sweetness of the friggery, right? So that's out there. But I'll end this part by saying shout out to Queen Ifrica. And yeah, it's good to talk because that's why I'm not like texting and all them something there, you know. I'm a person that I run head on. Like we can talk face to face, we can talk because you always get a different kind of understanding, and your interpretation could be so off of a person, especially if you don't listen to everything that was said and you just take out a piece. You him call my name and that him say, all right, yo, we can't stand up boy there say, you see, listen to each other and listen to the whole speech, right? Vicky Victory says that's not the case for me. I was listening and then she went left. Well, I can't speak for you, Vicky. I can speak for only me and for what she said. Now, the part that she said that I didn't get into yesterday, because we spoke lengthy and still didn't cover that part, was this narrative about leave Jamaican people alone now. Okay. This is not directed only to Queen Ifrica. This is directed to everybody else who tries to do this. There's an undercurrent of Jamaicans. If you're overseas, if you don't live here 365 days of the year in Jamaica, then you shouldn't have a say in what goes on in Jamaica. And you don't know and you don't understand. And I want everybody, me come relax, I come in peace. Because my end goal is unification. I want everybody to understand this. First of all, let me see how much time I'm there at Jamaica. Now, that's not living there, but I'm there. And I'm always there, right? But not only that, those of us who are no longer on the rock, our moms are there, our dads are there, our grandparents are there, grandmother did it, grandfather did it, auntie, uncle, cousin, sister, brother, people that we would kill and die for still are there. And a lot of us support them, walk with us off a foreign and split up with little money and support them as well, pumping money into the Jamaican economy. Some people are Jamaican, you see, if I never them foreign people, they would be, we have a word we call wasara. They would be wasara off. Wasara is when worse. You have bad and then you have worse. They would be way worse off, right? So I don't want this narrative to be pushed that we outside don't know what's going on and all this. We know exactly what's going on. And especially if you're going to call my name in it, me know exactly what's going on. I know how to touch the ground in Jamaica. I know how to move when I'm there. I know how to link up, who need to link up. Me know how to come out tight. Me know how to go back in there. Me dep on the ground. Me not go Jamaica and just lock up and stay in a one place and hide and then come back and say, oh, I was in Jamaica. You know, my bloodline deep in Jamaica. And there are a lot of us that are like that. And so I want people to educate themselves, and I want you to look at the number of Jamaicans that are actually Jamaican, but not living in Jamaica at the moment. I believe, if I'm not correct, that number surpasses the number of Jamaicans that are actually living in Jamaica. And the amount of money that comes from that group of people rivals their tourism industry, which is the number one earner in Jamaica. So the narrative, full time we leave Jamaica people alone and only know where Jamaica go through because we not live there, live there. Let it not be about that. Okay? We're tired to explain ourselves. Let it not be about that. Just know, sir, if you want better for Jamaica, genuinely, then I'm on your side. If you are not swayed by politics and you're not out here, oh, it's ALP for me till me dead. If you're not one of them people there and you are standing up for the country and you're standing up for the betterment of Jamaica and for what tomorrow could look like for us, then I'm on your side. And based on that is where I want us to unite and move forward. Just like for black people. If we stop this whole who is light skin versus dark skin, who have curly hair or good hair versus who have unmanageable and nappy head versus who is, we have so many things that we use to divide us. You know, black people in everybody religion. Everywhere, every religion you turn, you'll find a black person. The Christian one won't speak to the Muslim one. The Jewish one won't speak to the Hindu one. It's all division, right? We're divided by skin color, hair texture, eye color, this, that, and the other. Frig all of that. Let's unite on one thing. The one thing we all have in common. And y'all know what that is. And from that, we can move forward. Right? I'll take one more phone call for the morning. Mr. The phone ring just now, but I had to finish what I was saying before I can answer. So whoever was calling before, feel free to call now, please. Yeah, man. So I have an appointment. Have to go. Have a blessed, prosperous weekend, SouFLo and family. Erica Senior, big up yourself and thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning, SouFLo. How are you?
I'm good, family. How you doing this morning?
Every day above ground is a blessing.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Well said. You said it all for me.
Saying.
Well said.
Yeah, man. No division to a thing, you know?
Yeah, we're all one.
Mm-hmm. And whether
we all have one thing in common.
Right.
We're all going to die.
Well, we have another thing in common as people before we reach the we're going to die part. Yeah. And we don't have to spell that out. We all see and know what it is.
Boy, may I tell you, me not know, what forget. You me start watch Queen Ifrica thing, you know. Me not follow up celebrity and them some of them. Me not have time for them stupidness.
Queen Ifrica mean good, man.
Watch your program. Me follow it up with the whole lady son. She and what a girl in name again, or she and her that spiral out of control the other day, or the guy or whatever she want to call herself. And then me say Andre interview her, so I said, this is interesting.
Saying.
So me go this morning now, I listen to it, and yo, she done Andre till him all get threat. People are threatening him. And I said, no, something not right. Everybody care for Jamaica, we in the diaspora. Not because we live overseas. We want better for our country.
Well, we have to go stop talk it and start move to it, you know. That's where and I'm telling you again, she's a forward person. So the long talking where we talk and this whole self-professing of love for Jamaica that we do, because honestly, I'm like that too. I'm fed up. I'm fed up to the point where I hear everybody saying they want better, but when somebody say, okay, it's time to do away with the JLP thing and the PMP thing and start move that you put your all behind this UIC movement and see what we could get from them. If we can't, then, or if we don't, then we're stuck with the two we've always had. And everybody goes, All right, then. Not too much.
Me
And
personally,
you know, so
I
where's
said
the
try a different
genuine
party.
where's the genuine love that we claim we have? No?
Yeah, but SouFlo, how can we take a stand and make change to Jamaica? Everybody talk about, oh, make change, including she.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on the table and tell, oh, we can make the stand.
We did multiple times, and we're doing again. I implore you to go over to the UIC website and check out their agenda. It is all written out. I've interviewed Mr. Patterson before, and I will try to get him on here again. He's a guy that will talk and will educate us. He was the first person that I've ever heard who is in a political position that told us to our face the entities that control the two parties are the entity is the same, and we've been getting the same, and this, that, and the other. He gave us so much truth that one morning he spoke that a lot of us had questions that we didn't even choose to ask that morning because we were like stuck like this. So
I think Andre interviewed that man to Amuta Baruka interview him.
All right. Well, there you go. So it's going around and people are gravitating to where them want gravitate towards.
I agree. Try something new.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't force everybody to drink water.
No, you can't. But hey, don't complain when time, things get shitty and you're in the shit. Don't complain then.
So that means I tell you that's typically Jamaican people. Them a PMP, them a GLP, and them dieted, and them not leave it, them not try nothing new.
And this is where the frustration comes in.
Then them start bitch and complain.
And this is where the frustration comes in. Because everybody proclaim. It's like you tell your children, them say, I love you, baby, I love you. That's what you say to your kids, right? But every time, as soon as them do nothing, you clock them down. There is no patience for them. There is no reasoning for them. You're crass, rude to your own kids. You're like, move from yourself. You bother me. You're short-tempered with them. Because you provide a roof over them head and you give them food, you're supposed to be like the best mommy or best daddy ever kind of thing. That's the kind of love that I see being put out there for Jamaica from most Jamaicans. It's a talk thing, and it ends at talking. While real thing are going, and we're running away from the real thing. We're not participating in what the process is to get us to this place where we think we need to be. It's right before us.
That is why I'm saying everybody's complaining about, oh, Jamaica is running right now. But are you guys willing to make a change? That is the most important thing.
Yeah.
We can be a talk, But when election day come, are you guys willing to make a change?
All right. Crystal G says UIC rally 6:10, 4 p.m. Halfway tree. UIC response to current events. Listen, here's the thing. Okay, so for instance, let me give you a way. Ask yourself, right? Me said the other day, I see in one of Jamaica major newspapers, Pastor so and so. One pastor will come out there, a youth will come out the other day that name himself Pastor something or Deacon, something name himself when he was talking about, oh, my wife have a freaky. What you mean? Because she a Christian mean she not fit. Yeah, man, she have to do the things them and dress sexy in the bedroom and no God nothing in the bedroom. In the so you do anything with the woman and but you must stick to one woman. His message was dirty but clean and salacious. He was put on front page the other day about him forming his own political party. And I said, look at this shit. Pardon my language, people. Pardon my language. But I had to say, look at this shit. So they won't give the UIC any space in them news column, but you get a youth like this who is talking about his own political party. Said that's not realistic. But he's on front page with it, though. So everybody now say he must start his own political party. But people are still asking, SouFlo, who is the UIC?
The world is turned upside down. We're walking on our head and we not even realize it.
All right.
We're on our head and we don't even realize it.
All right. But here what? End of the day, we need to wake up. See, and speaking to Queen Ifrica, I realize, no, I'm not saying she is with the UIC or she is with this or that party. I'm not talking about her political affiliations. Me just I said Speaking to her reminds me of speaking to my sister. They don't like to just dwell on this said and that one said there and this, that, and the other. They are more into, okay, make we get past that now. We're going to talk about that because that's where your interest lies and that's where you feel entertained at. But then let's skip past that now and get to what really needs to take place. That way.
And that's what all the focus should be. Because Jamaica is going down.
Hey. Manners and respect, my family.
Yeah, man. Hail up your wife and kiss the kids and have a good weekend.
All right. You too now.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Yeah. We'll take one more call for the morning and then we'll call it a day. There are other topics here that I wanted to get into, but I'll just give you a whole different video for these. See? You don't want to go too far into none of these that I can't discuss. So again, let me end this by saying we might have differences of opinions along the way. It doesn't mean we can't disagree, but still have respect for each other, right? That's one of the things that's killing us as a people. This, instead of sky green dog and the sky blue. That boy, if it dead, It's like as soon as you disagree with somebody, the first thing they think of is to not support you no more, to demonize your name in public space, to try to see any way they can block anything you have going on. That like we don't have to go that route. We can disagree and still keep it mutual respect and move forward on one accord. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, SouFLo.
Good morning, family.
Yes. I think I'm listening to what Queen Africa says.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that she does care about Jamaica, but I think she needs to be tolerant of other people and listen to other people. As the other woman said before, a lot of people care about and love Jamaica. Mm-hmm. And without the people who are like overseas, a lot of the support for families, even financial support for Jamaica comes from the people who are overseas because they still do have loved ones and family there.
Right.
I read a report some years ago that said if they were to eliminate all of the financial support that people, Jamaicans abroad are sending, a lot of the economy of Jamaica would really suffer.
All right. I want you to pause right there for a second, right? Mm-hmm. Visionaries will always get chopped down. Check this out, right? Mm-hmm. So we have all right to say it. But we say, okay, if we're in the US or Canada or these so-called first world countries where we're able to make significantly amount of money more than our people in Jamaica, and we give money to them to keep them afloat, right? And then we say, if we never send the money there, enough of them people there wouldn't, and the economy would crash and blah, blah. Now imagine this. Imagine us moving the needle to a place where our people in Jamaica don't need us overseas to send them money because the place is set up differently where they can actually thrive.
Right. Yeah, that is what should be happening.
That's where she's at.
What?
That's where she's at with it. Yes,
but how does that happen? It's not the fault of the people who are outside that Jamaica is not there. So when she says leave Jamaica people alone, you all don't know what's happening. Yeah. I think we do know what's happening, but that's the best that people outside can contribute to their families and to Jamaica from outside.
Right.
I am outside of Jamaica. As a matter of fact, I was born here of Jamaican parents. Right. So I was never living in Jamaica, but I am still someone that loves and cares about Jamaica. Am I supposed to be pushed aside because, I was never born there. I was born here. As a matter of fact, I'm in the process of applying for my citizenship, which I have a right to in Jamaica because my family's from there.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. But that's what I said earlier. We don't need any division as far as and I want it to be understood that us who are not on the rock, some of us who are not on the rock, like the other caller said, we care more for Jamaica and do more for Jamaica on a positive level than a lot of Jamaicans that are living in Jamaica.
Absolutely.
So
because a lot of Jamaicans that are in Jamaica, they are the ones that are chopping and doing all kinds to each other, sometimes they're more damaging to Jamaica. Just like how we in this country, as Black people, very often we're doing things here that are detrimental to each other.
Right. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to say, okay.
All right. I appreciate you calling in. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. Have a wonderful day.
Okay, you too.
All right. All right. Hear what? Continue this dialogue. See? I don't want nobody come away from this. I don't want anybody to come away from this. Last call for the morning. I don't know how many times I'm going to say last call, but this is our last call. Talk to it, caller. Live on the air.
Quick. Yeah, man. I know you know it's the last call, but you're SouFLo. I think.
Why you echo, someone?
Missing the concept.
You're echoing too much.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, you hear me now?
Go on, talk.
All right. I think a lot of us miss the conception of what Queen Ifrica is saying, that when they say to leave Jamaica alone. No, she not literally saying, we must not say anything, because some people who even are foreign, who even in Jamaica, are bringing nothing to the table anyway. They don't see what is going on wrong in Jamaica. Because you have people in Jamaica don't even see what's going on wrong. When you have people in the United States are doing more for Jamaica than what people in Jamaica is doing, and see more damage what is going on in Jamaica. So I think a lot of us kind of oversight and understood what she's saying, and I think she's saying that they must literally get off the Jamaica business alone. But if you're not bringing anything to the table, it doesn't make no sense. Because what is SouFLo?
Right.
When last you heard anybody spoke about the Cockpit Mountain? When last? Nobody. That is a drop. When a march or a protest is planned in Jamaica, you don't see the celebrities in Jamaica come out. None of them support. They don't support. We don't have the backing of celebrities in Jamaica. And that is what Queen Ifrica is talking about. So if we're not bringing anything to the table, what's the sense that you talk? Leave it alone.
Got it. Make perfect sense.
And real talk, man.
Make perfect sense. But in the context which it was said, and I don't want to stir nothing, but in the context which it was said, if you call two people name, you call SouFLoTV name, you call what name the name? Footer Hype name.
Serpy.
No, she called not Serpy. She called Footer Hype name. She just said she have questions about Serpy, and I said I do too. Because agents are out there working and you don't know who an agent is, and but all kind of thing I stir up. But that's not that. She used two names and then used that speech and she talked about those who live overseas. Now, me and Footer live overseas. So that's why it was taken that way, as in, Una don't live here, Una don't live here, we live here. Right?
I understand. I don't live in Jamaica, SouFLo. I am a people. I am a PNP, but I am for the people. I am not for the party. I am for the people of Jamaica. So I will continue to fight for the people of Jamaica and for the betterment of my country, SouFLo. And this is what Ifrica deal with.
Right. Absolutely. God of Gadgets says she needs to be more clear that even the dog understands her. Here's the thing. Not everybody has that skill. Not everybody can be a teacher. Not everybody can break a topic down so clearly that even a basic school youth can walk away saying, I got that. Not everybody can do that. People can be eloquent in their speech and still be confusing. You know what I'm saying? So, and people can have the best of intentions at heart, and when them done talk, you still don't understand anything that was said much. So it's not everybody have that. We need to meet that halfway.
That's one of the reasons. That is true, and this is why some people can read, but they don't understand what they read. But the next person have to explain it better to them.
Right.
And it's a lot of people can read, but don't understand what they read and hear, because they know what they hear.
Same thing like you're going to a maths class and you have Mr. Smith and Mr. Smith teach, boom, bam, bam, take this, carry this over here, X that out, and you can't learn nothing in a Mr. Smith class. You go to Miss Jones' class, Miss Jones broke it down so good, you become an A student in math that you used to hear. So, there's a difference in how people handle stuff. I might job that. That's where I put myself. That's why my conversations are long and time consuming.
When my daughter is 13, they send her home from school. Guess why they send her home so low? The teacher put a math on the board, and my daughter is saying that's not the way the math is doing. She's telling me, my daughter said, I am the teacher. She said, yes, teacher, you are the teacher, but that's not the way the math's done. And she sent him home. What's this? When the principal gets involved, who you think come out the winner? My daughter. The math was put wrong on the board.
By the teacher.
By the teacher.
Yeah, it happens.
So understanding, brother. So sometimes we have to take a time and understand each other. You have to beat on and bite on each other, brother. You understand me?
Yeah, sometimes the teacher have the exactly right there what you just said. That's why I said we have to meet this halfway. The teacher might have the best intentions at heart, but still come off as if they don't really care and them don't really want you to learn the message. And you know, it's just that's life and dealing with human dynamics and different personalities and different chain of thought, different ways of speaking, different ways of expressing oneself and all these other things. I'll close out this morning. Thank you for your call, my brother. I'm going to end it right after this morning.
Yeah, man, blessed.
Blessed. I'll close out this morning by saying this. At the end of the day, your goal should be about unity and about moving us forward. If you're not on that page, then me and you are not on the same page. If your goal is unity and moving us forward, then me and you are definitely on the same page. And we might share a difference of opinions at times, but I guarantee you, if you speak to me, I will find common ground for us to be able to get what needs to be done so that we can move forward. Because this ain't about just us. This is about us and our future. You understand? With that said, have a wonderful weekend. Manners and respect to each and every one of you. Surround yourself with people that love you and with people that you love. And if you can't do that or don't have that around you, it's okay to be alone. Yeah? And learn how to love you first. You can't love nobody else until you learn how to love you proper. I'm out. See you later. And stay tuned for the other two topics. They will be coming to you by individual videos themselves. Walk good, my people. Blessings. Peace.